Hello and welcome back to the channel. And just to be honest, this video is gonna be a bit of a ramble. And I just want to talk about a game I used to really enjoy called Ready or Not. And this is a discussion. So if you want to add something to the conversation or give your thoughts on the game as a whole yourself, please leave a comment down below. I want to really read and hear what people have to say about the game. I'm honestly very curious, and I like to hear more than one opinion. So with that being said, if you enjoy this discussion that I want to start with you, please leave a like and subscribe. And that being said, let's get into Ready or Not. Now, for some honesty, I've been playing Ready or Not since early access back in 2022. I put over 160 hours into it as of recording, and I've been watching it grow, watching updates roll out consistently, seeing strong communication between Void Interactive and the community. I think the developers truly cared about their vision and their player base. Back then, in early access, I had the game on a pedestal, but recently, but ever since 1.0, I'd argue something feels different. The game is still fun, I won't deny that. The core gameplay loop is still very solid, but it feels like it's fallen off from where it used to be. I think there are a few reasons why. When Ready or Not pushed towards its 2025 console release, we got many players calling it the censorship update. Some of the more extreme mature content from the original PC version was altered, toned down, or just straight up removed. Now, I'll be honest here, I don't actually care that content was censored. What bothers me is that Boyd made a promise, and that promise is now broken. Back in early access, we were told that the game would never be censored. Vision of the game was uncompromising. It was supposed to be a raw depiction of what real SWAT and law enforcement teams would face, and the argument that censoring it would be dishonest and disrespectful to the realities of what they were trying to portray. And they censored it anyway. There was no compromise, no censorship toggle in the PC version to turn it off and on, with the downside being you have to turn off crossplay. No transparency, just a shift in direction. And once trust like that is broken, it's hard not to feel betrayed. Another big issue is declining communication. Early access updates were consistent. There was active engagement, monthly briefings. You felt like you were part of something evolving. Now it feels quiet. Less communication, less content, and less clarity about the future of the game. I hadn't really played since last year, and coming back, I was hoping to see some new roadmaps, feature announcements, something exciting down the pipeline, but instead, just a large batch of bug fixes, which is great, don't get me wrong, and a flashlight LED combination system. And while this stuff is cool, dropping 500 fixes and one little piece of new content every 6 months instead of just maintaining a steady optimization patch schedule just doesn't feel great, right? There are bugs in this game that have been here since 1.0 that are still a problem. Even post 1.0, there are still lingering AI issues, suspects shooting through walls, and just very inconsistent behavior, the AI, and overall performance problems, right? That should have been ironed out by now. And the game just doesn't feel very stable, at least for me, right? There are also several features promised from early access that were never added. The PvP mode, which was scrapped around, I think, 2023. And a feature that allows you to cut off power to buildings. Say, for example, the spider, right? You can cut off the power from the outside and then go inside when it's dark, and the darkness would obscure their vision, make it hard for them to shoot you, so you can go with night vision goggles, stuff like that. And several other additions that were never added. I can't remember all off the top of my head, but maybe you know. If you know any more content that was supposed to be added but wasn't, please let me know. And now I understand development changes, features get cut, strategies shift, right? But again, it comes back to communication. If something isn't possible or can't be done, just tell us why. Transparency goes a long way, instead of making us feel like they removed it just because they didn't want to do it. They want to do the bare minimum to get the game out. You know what I'm saying? And what's really disappointing is the emotional investment I put into the game. And I'm sure other people have as well, right? This was the first tactical shooter that actually did what it was supposed to do. It actually had a good early access, and it actually got a full release. Unlike games like Ground Branch and other ones, they're still in early access and they barely get updated as it is, right? And Better Not is the exception. It's the one game that actually did what it set out to do. I guess I can say this, right? I used to play this game with friends, and we would theory crafts about the lore, how levels connected, what the implications were, bigger narrative threads, just tying everything together, right? The world just felt cohesive and just very gritty and grounded. After some content adjustments, the overall shift in tone, I started to get that immersed in the game in the same way. Maybe it's just me, but I just let the game just feel very dulled. And I'm not angry at any of this stuff. I'm just overall just very disappointed. It feels like a game I've been following for years and supported for years is slowly being left behind. Maybe not literally abandoned, but it feels that way. There's a growing concern in the community that after the next update, the studio might start shifting focus elsewhere. And with how many things that were promised, and how many stuff that needs to be fixed, leaving Ready or Not in the current state that it's in would be very disappointing. Maybe that's not true, but uncertainty alone is very discouraging. And again, communication. If they just told us what their plans were, it would make things so much better. I know we're not obligated and not required to do so, but I look at the Steam forums. I look at whenever they post something. People are uncertain. People are angry, and they have a right to be upset and angry and confused and wanting to know what's going on behind the scenes. But Void Interactive knows what they're doing, but they're just not saying anything about it. Don't get me wrong, Ready or Not is still a very good game. It doesn't feel like the same game I fell in love with all those years ago. It's quieter, less bold, less transparent. It's hard to watch when you've been there since the beginning. But I'm really curious. What do you think of Ready or Not? Do you agree, disagree? Somewhere in between? There are no wrong opinions. Just please keep it civil in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Peace out.